Hello everyone and welcome to this course on designing high contrast thumbnails as well as posters to give your design that aesthetic, authentic, retro and vintage vibe that you're most likely to see in YouTube thumbnails as well as in brand banners. In this course, we are not limiting ourselves to design high contrast thumbnails and posters, but we are also going to look at the fundamental of typography, the mood of colors, as well as how to build their story inside our thumbnail or our poster. In this entire course, we are going to use Photopea, which is a free alternative of Photoshop. And in Photopea, we are going to learn how to choose image like an artist or a designer, how to look at the color for that contrast and that vintage vibe, the roughness, the typography, the brushes as well as strokes, learning the psychology behind the thumbnail designs, the color palettes, as well as how to build that story inside our thumbnail or posters. So that's all for this course, and this course is ideal from any graphic designer, content creator, video editors, YouTubers, or even marketers. Alright, that's all for this lecture, and I will see you in the first class. So in this lecture, I am going to teach about brief of Photopea and Photopea features. So just going to Photopea, this is the home page. Now we have three options, like you can start new project or you can also pick image from your computer. Photopea also gives you the ability to modify and Photoshop design as well as Illustrator, Adobe design, as well as many more forms. So we will just start from new project. So this is the new project pop-up, and here we have bunch of options here, like you can have YouTube thumbnail automatic, template, YouTube profile, YouTube cover, and many more things, and prints like A4 size. You can have also photo and screen like 4K, this is the 4K screen, mobile, ads, and many things. And you can also set your custom design from here, like in centimeter or in pixel, but we will do in pixel only. And this is the template. These are the ready-made templates that already have made by creator of Photopea. And it is actually a very good template if you just want to change the text or change the image. Basically, we will start from making poster or YouTube thumbnail, anything. So from starting poster, we will do 4K because the poster are majorly in 4K. So just click on this 4K and then create white, black, transparent, anything you want. Let's just make it black and then create. So this is our 4K screen canvas, and here we will do all the editing and all the graphic designing thing here. So basically this is the mouse and move tool here. So we can move text from here to there by this tool. The second tool is the rectangle tool. You can create a rectangle here and fill the color from it. This is the eyedropper tool, like whatever the color you want from it. And don't worry about this thing. And this is the text tool. Let us just use it. This is the color picker option. And let's just say this is the white color. And we will type, let's just say hello. Perfect. And then click on this tick button. So we will have our text layer done, and then come back to our move tool or press V on your keyboard. So this will be our move tool, and then align it to the center of this canvas. So this is our hello. Then go on color picker and choose whatever color you want to do. Let's just say yellow, green, or whatever. Let's just stick with green and then click OK. Now if you want to add an image, then go in the file and then choose whatever image you want and then click OK. Now resizes, and you can see here this image or this screenshot is behind the background layer. So there are basically three layers. The first is hello, second is background, and the third is the screenshot layer. So if you want to see our screenshot, then bring it to up layer of background, and we can see this, the screenshot is behind the hello. Now again bring this to the front of hello background layer. So we will have this our screenshot, and then click on that sign. If you want to change the hello color, click on this hello and then choose color picker, and then use this eye tool and click on whatever color you want from the image. Let's just say we want red, gray, or let's just stick with red, or anything the color you want to like. And then click on again the mouse tool. If you want to change the color of this image, go to this half moon layer. Basically this is the adjustment layer, and then click on hue and saturation, and then bring the saturation level to -100. This will create the image to be black and white look. Okay, so you can basically create this new adjustment above the screenshot that will make the screenshot appear black and white. And if we do this hello above the hue saturation, it will be free from black and white. And again from the screenshot, if we move up, then it will free, and then move down, it will be in black and white. Thank you guys. See you in the next lecture. So welcome to this lecture 3. This lecture name is Select Image Like an Reporter, Much Been Like an Journalist. This implies that when you choose an image, do it like as a journalist or a reporter would do, or a reporter selects an image, and don't look it at from a designer's perspective. When designers choose image, it is the correct lighting, it is a good resolution, or it is aiming from emotion and contrast within the image. As a designer, we often overlook this aspect. The emotion or the contrast that reside within the image is overlooked if we see through the designer's perspective. That's why in this course we will learn how to cultivate the right mindset when selecting image. We will understand what should be running through our minds when we pick an image, and how truly to appreciate the emotion and contrast hidden within the image. Absolutely, let's explore how to choose image. To start, I am taking a topic here of like politics specifically. Imagine we want to create a poster that is related to politics, and we want to choose an image that's not only capture the essence but also narrate a whole story of that image. Think of this process like you are a journalist seeking the perfect image. So here where we learn how to select an image effectively. Let's just searching by Donald Trump, which is a US 45th president, and then go to this image section, and you can see there's a bunch of image, and if you want bigger image, then go to tools, size, and take any larger size if you want. So if someone said to me, hey, there's a video about Donald Trump, and I want you to create an image or an thumbnail or an poster from that. In such cases, most people would generally opt from image that portray him in a certain lighting like this, or perhaps the image that carry a smiley expression like this. So when you are creating the design, the challenges lies in making it appealing, and often the essence you are looking from might not be immediately evident. The high contrast look we desire won't always be straightforward to achieve. Like in this case, let us take this image and then copy this image, and then come to our Photopea section, and here we will create this new project from scratch. Then we will be using this 4K poster, which is basically poster background black, and then click on create. So this is our 4K canvas, and here just Control V or Command V. So this will be our image. There are two key aspects. Firstly, examine the lighting in the image, and secondly, the expression captured in the image. This expression is vital to evoke the emotion we are aiming for. For instance, consider the image that I have opened here. You can observe that the lighting is quite spot focus. If you carefully examine this image, you will realize that lightings play a significant role. Or you can also check the lighting by black and white effect. So click on hue and saturation and turn it saturation to -100. You can here see that the Donald Trump image has a specific lighting role. Here you can see that the image of or portrait of it pop out of this image and the background is like 0 or black and white. So here we can see totally the lighting is perfectly done. The lighting is making this image dramatic. It is adding a sense of drama within it. And that's precisely the drama we want to incorporate in our poster. The lighting within the image is perfect. This image has something to say, like something the image want to convey to their audience. When you look at this image carefully, you will notice that it is not just an ordinary image. It's not about portraying Donald Trump as happy or sad or angry or beyond like given in this. It is attempting to dwell deeper within, trying to navigate toward our specific matter. And leaving aside this image, let me bring you another image to show you. Right here, the very image that will help you grasp the point I am making. Now take a look at this image. See, it's in this very image that you can discern for yourself what I am talking about. Now this is the second image I mentioned. The emotion conveyed by this image is crystal clear. This image shows the happiness of the Donald Trump. Absolutely, it's right here there in the image. The emotion is unmistakably clear. It's happiness. Let's just copy this image here and then paste it here. Often when people sit down to design, they think, let me show something happy. Even if it's not ideal, they tend to portray happiness. However, it is not as simple as that. People quickly catch on this approach. This discussion is about precisely about happiness. Like people will guess that this poster or this design has something to do with the happiness of the Donald Trump. First and foremost, emotion drama is always required in our image, and it is matter of a great deal. So what should we do now? First and foremost, we need to identify the emotional drama. To uncover this drama, we need to pay attention to two crucial elements as I mentioned. First one is the lighting, as you can clearly see in this first image, and the second thing is expression. Like this is the happy expression, this is the solitude expression. Like it cannot predict it is happy, it is sad, or it is angry. If there's no expression within, like neither sad nor distress, just a glance towards the camera, just towards you, that's exactly what we need. That's genuine direct connection is what we seek to portray. Are you looking for action or stillness? Reflect on audience. Imagine what goes through their mind, their prescription about things. They could have a positive as well as negative thought about that. If I write here, let's just increase the size and the color to the white of the text. Okay, and here you can also change the font, whatever font you like. Let's just try this Victor and then type. So by using when I wrote love, this is because the image lacks a specific expression. Even if I add another image here saying lovely or hate, let's just type hate, you will be able to see that this image is just working fine even in the case of hate and love or angry. You can type any typography here or any word you want to convey just by using this image. And let's just say if I unseen this and I just copy and paste it here, you can see the copy paste is connected. And now just say let's put hate in this image. You can clearly see that this image is not made from being hate. This is an ideal happiness photo. So the word or not all the words will go to this image. Whereas if you type love, then the image will perfectly be happy and the perfectly be okay image. But if we want to convey another message or an solitude message of something that we don't want any specific reaction, we have to take images like this, that is just a simple glance towards your camera. The audience won't engage as you as would, as they are interpreting different things simultaneously. When two people are talking at the same time, whose conversation would you listen to? You did probably tell which one is the quiet, right? This is the exact story within the image. And you can also see that this image itself tells a story. So people won't pay attention to another story on your contents. This will immerse themselves in the story within the image from their own prediction about it. Once they have done that, they won't look beyond that. So what we need to do is embed a story within the image. For that, you can create an element within the image that triggers curiosity. It could be an hidden details, a symbol, or even a conspiracy. A related element that makes viewer curious about what's hidden in the image. This way, instead of forming opinion about the image itself, viewer will engage with the design and your content will achieve its intended effect. Remember, the design is in your hand, and it's up to you strategically incorporate elements that evoke the desired reaction and engagement from your audience. The impact of design influences the formation of opinion. As you create design, people will form opinion basis on what you have designed. They will also learn over time, but first and foremost within the image and what you need to maintain a sense of mystery, not like this image. You can use this image also to create a sense of curiosity and mystery behind the image. Because even within that image there is a story. So I will approach it in the same way considering business approaches. You have to find that balance whether you do not directly reveal the story within the image but create intrigue and curiosity that encourage viewers to form their own opinion. You are right that opinion people form are in their hands. The design you create will shape those opinions. While people learn and evolve along with your design, first you need to keep an element of surprise within the image like this. An expression shouldn't be immediately visible in the image. If I talk about the second match, I wouldn't use this image because the key is not to overly reveal the story within the image but to present in a way that user or viewer encouraged to think, understand and connect with your design. Just an expression list. If I were to describe an image in one word, your image should be expressionless. There shouldn't be any expression of sadness, happiness or any other expression. Just an absence of expression, because that quality will support your design. So this concludes our lecture where we have learned how to speak and picture like an journalist or an reporter. We should always approach like this. If a journalist need to convey a story, they use graphic and image that either lack any story within themselves or possess an emotion that promotes your content rather than the image itself. Alright, we have summarized this whole. See you in the next lecture, guys. Hello guys, in this lecture we are going to talk about the color and the transparency and the contrast of the particular image. So head back to our main image of the Donald Trump here. So now let's just create this new project, then screen, then 4K, let's say black, and then create. So this are the rulers and the markers of our Photopea. So in order to get this ruler and the marker, go on this view option and click on this ruler. I have already enabled it, so here it is mine, and then bring it center. We have around the center will be 2048 from the horizontal, and similarly as in the vertical we have around center 1080 pixel. So this point is the center of our whole canvas. And now just open our Donald Trump image. Go to Donald Trump. Here we are going to use this example as a whole sample from all the lecture. Then copy this image and then let's just paste it here and then resize it. So this is our image. Now in order to remove the background, we want only the Donald Trump face only. We don't want any background here. So in order to do that, you can just as you have already downloaded this image, you can just go to any background remover website, or you can go to remove.bg website also, and then just upload this image, and then you will get the background removed image, and then download it here. I cannot show you because of the Udemy terms and condition, but it is very simple to do and it is just one click thing. So make sure your image is does not have any background. So after removing the background, this is my image, and you can easily see here that we have a perfect background removed here. You cannot see anything else. It's just Donald Trump faced here, and it is perfectly aligned with our main objective. So now let's just this time remove this background also. So we have this is our transparent background, and let's just resize this image and make it big so it is appear bold and aggressive. And here is our perfect match. Because the shoulder width is more here, we have selected face in the right side here more. And then you can now just we don't need rulers, so just remove them. Image will always be of vintage and retro type. Like let's just say the image will be of always. So in order to achieve that old retro vintage look, you will see this person or whatever the image you take, it will have the black and white contrast. So we will have a more contrast layer in order of black and white rather than of colorful layers. So in order to create this type, let's just firstly delete this, and you can now see here new adjustment layer, and then come to hue and saturation. You can also try this black and white, but here it will just decrease the image to basically normal black and white, but we don't want that. So Ctrl Z and then come to hue and saturation. Here we want to achieve some optical and rather much more aggressive and contrast look. So in order to do that, just make sure your image looks perfectly retro, vintage and old, as well as it is appealing and contrasting. So here I can find in my image -81 saturation level is very perfect. We can here see that the Donald Trump tie also and jacket color also, as well as his fade is perfectly working fine with this hue and saturation. And now we have our image. Now we can create any object here from the background. Let's just create this by using this background of rectangle tool, and then create rectangle and then fill it with any color you want. Let's just say red first, and then make sure the shape is behind this, and you can see that this red color is also being influenced by hue and saturation. Okay, so in order to remove from it, just click on this image, our image, and hue and saturation, both of them, and then right click on it and then convert it to our smart image. So our red color will be seen perfectly, and you can see that it is appealing and it is very aggressive, and you can change whatever color you want, blue, green, anything will be perfectly fine. So this is our whole background removed image with a retro, old and vintage look. And if you want to change the color of Donald Trump or any image, you can also just creating new photo filter, and make sure it is add above this our image. And you can, this is the warm, you can increase and decrease the density. You can also change the color of it, like this neon one. So the whole image will be of neon, and whatever color, this will be of yellowish, and we can see that our whole image or our whole subject is the color change of whatever the photo filter we have applied. But in our main image we will not try to achieve anything right now, so deleting this. So you can have this look after it, and you can achieve, and you can change also this color, green, yellow, or whatever, and we can see that the image subject is perfectly popping out from the background. Contrast and essence of the image is particularly with seen. We can also add any color of whatever we like from the internet. Let's just say 80s album cover, then go into images, and you can see there are a bunch of 80s albums that gives us what we want, that is old, retro, and vintage look. Like you can select this one of old vintage look, or this is a multiple collage. So let's just use this, copy this, and then paste it here. Perfect. Let's resize this, and let's just say we want that old vintage look or old vintage look of this particular our layer. Then, and we can change the background of this color of like this. Come here and then change. Make sure you eyedropper button and then click on this blue button. Here we will get the feel of this old vintage look. If we want red, you can have red, green, or yellow. Greens look good from the politician view, as well as the blue also look good. So you can search, and whatever the color of the or retro vintage look you want to achieve, you can do it from here. These have also this greenish bluish look, and we can majorly see that in our 80s or 80s and 90s album there is always an substance of blue. Like this is blue, this is blue. Like blue is more color than everything else. You can see here, 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 here. A lot of blue color are appearing, and you can also try it like this is the blue background of we want. Perfect. Now just this is from just sample reference. You can have any color combination or color picker you want, and we will look more in the next lecture. So hello guys, in this lecture, as we have discussed previously, we have selected the image and finalized the color. But now in this lecture we are going to discuss about the missing contrast look, the design element that not quite there yet. We will learn how to design that missing element in our design here. We have selected this image and the background, which is just currently working fine for us. Now we are even aiming to achieve that high contrast look, that intergraining and mysterious appearance. But how can we create this conspirational vibe in our design? To address this, let's go back to our old design. Like you can see here the picture of Madonna. You can see there is some white and black dots here appearing, and it is this effect is known as half-tone overlay effect. You can see in every picture of the old time. It gives us the retro aesthetic look we are looking from, like this. The image is not actually clear. There is some this black and whitish dot here that is generating the high contrast look here. So how do we get that? You just go to Google and just type half-tone overlay. Here you can see this is the example of half-tone overlay. There are various examples, but the good news is you don't need to download any of these because they are licensed. I have already 10 of this half-lay overlay effect PNG, which I will be putting in the resource section, so you can use it freely, and these are commercial and personal use freely, so you can use whatever you want. Now we will be back to in our Photopea. First I block out the design and then I let you look at the first. So this is our normal image which we will be working on. Now in order to appear that half-tone overlay effect, I will just open an PNG of overlay. Let's say this time I select this 8th one, and then I open it, and then I place it above the shape layer. and you can see that there is this black and white dot here, but it is above the face of the picture. So let's bring it picture down, and you can see this is the overlay effect here, but most of the overlay effect is in the background and this doesn't give us very nice. So first of all, let us just resize this as the whole image canvas. Okay, perfect. And then we will do clipping mask effect. So just select this PNG and right click on it, and then you can see this clipping mask effect. So this will mask the entire photo here only and not the actual background. So you can see that this is giving this the dot 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 of the old 80s album effect here, but it is actually not very good looking right now. So we will first of all lower the opacity here, and let's just say we will doing the half of the opacity, 48, let's say 50 or 51 work fine. And now in this layer we have many options like dissolve, darken, multiply, screen, overlay, hard light and everything, but I found that soft light effect is the best from all the half tone overlay effect. So I will be using this soft light effect, and you can see now our image is looking actually very fantastic. You can see if you zoom in, you can easily see the dots of the half tone overlay effect, and you even scroll out, you can see this half tone overlay effect, which is giving us that high contrast aesthetic retro vibe look here. So this is our image, but we can also try to add this half tone overlay effect in the background also. So here let's open another file here. This time let's select 2. I'm just randomly selecting it and resize this to the whole canvas image. But here we want it in the background and not on the face or on the image. So drag it down but above the shape layer. So you can see that we have created this halftone overlay effect, and this is in the background, and it is giving us that high contrast look after finally. And you can change the color of whatever you like, but we have using like blue temporary, but you can change the color according to the halftone overlay effect. Now look here, the people are actually watching our image. The pose design look that is created here is visible to you, and it is also looking so good. The color you can choose and can be adjusted later. But now here we have cleared the creation option here. You can see that it has been brought in that high contrast level. Now the contrast, the boldness and the transparency feel have started to come through. But we can also do another effect here. This effect is called sharpening effect. The more you use it on the image, the more the effect will enhance your image. So how do we do that? So basically just click on this photo of yours and then go to filter, click on it filter, and you can see this sharpen effect, and then click on this sharpen. I suggest you to sharpen 2-3 times this effect. So we will sharpen this effect again. Let's say sharpen, and after using that to sharpen effect, you can see aesthetic look here. It is actually an retro design or an old age design that we are aiming for. So after using the sharpen effect and half-tone overlay effect, we have actually created the theme, the design, and that the audience want. So in this lecture, we have learned how to bring in those people with an high contrast, bold emotion in this graphic. Alright, it was nice to meet you in this episode as we have discussed about the roughness or the half-tone overlay effect. See you in the next lecture, guys. Hello guys, in this lecture we are going to talk about typography. Look, typography is like the seasoning in your dish, like the cherry on your cake. It's that element in your design that add emotion. You selected it carefully with colors, created it fine-tuned with the image, but it won't matter unless you get the fonts right, because even fonts carry an emotion. If the emotion of the fonts and the elements of your design does not match, then there is no point. As we have learned, number one, if there is no emotion inside your image, it's as though there is no emotion inside your image. However, we do need some emotion. Some emotion is always needed. So that emotion will add it to your design by even using typography successfully. Plus, if your fonts is correct, first of all, let us understand a bit about typography. Here we will use two fonts for example. First one will be, let's say this is the serif font, and let's just type serif. And then the second we will use is sans serif. This is CMU sans serif preview. Okay, it is loading, and we can see that it is the sans serif version and the first one is the serif. Alright, these are the two fonts. Got it? We can use these two fonts here. Now I will explain about serif first. Inside just the font, there's an emotion of its own. Inside serif there is no personal emotion and expression. It's just like water. It takes on the flavor you gave it and it's get along with you. The serif style will give it taste if you mix it with something poisonous. It will give poisonous taste, and if you mix it with cold drink, it will give cold drink taste. So it does not have its own emotion inside. But serif, it does contain an emotion. It contains a statement, either official or about your business, or maybe something about praising someone. You want to give an achievement related message here, as we have this political party. Now when you are creating a poster or making an thumbnail, you need to observe what your content is conveying. Is your content praising or criticizing something, or does it involve some research or anything else? If you have done some research and you are giving it praise, criticizing or discussing a conspiracy, then we will always use why. Because we should impose a statement through the image. People will perceive is based on their understanding. They will interpret it according to their own perspective. So now let us just change this color of this text first of all. So go on here and then click on color picker and then enter whatever color you like and then paste it here and then press OK. So it is just basically yellowish color. And in this video series we are going to use the word power, and here we are going to now change the fonts, and we will see what the fonts we actually like and what the fonts it fits. So consider this Beba's new font. It is rounded, friendly curves that often exudes a sense of approachability and warmth. This makes it ideal from conveying to a light-hearted person. And this font is actually a popular choice from children's playbook, casual branding, or friendly digital content. On the other hand, the fonts like Victor brings forth a different sentiment. With strong and bold letter form, it radiates authority and professionalism and confidence. When used in logo or headlines, Victor fonts command attention and instills a sense of trust and reliability. Whereas if we try the font of Impressum, it's take more sophisticated approach. Its elegant and timeless stroke often evoke a sense of class and refinement. This font is commonly seen in high-end fashion, luxury branding, and formal invitation. Now if we select another font here from this, let's select Uptown font. The font name itself, Uptown, conjures image of glamorous city lights, bustling nightlife, and upscale neighborhoods. It carries an air of exclusivity and refinement, making it a suitable choice for our project that we aim to capture the essence of high contrast theme we are looking for. I see your point. The decorative or the script font won't give the desired look that you are aiming from, but if I am understanding correctly, you are saying that decorative font or script won't convey the message you want. If I am placing a decorative font like like this, it won't be able to highlight this like an hero, which align with our concept of power or praise or anything. So making it again of up down. This create a visual hierarchy where emphasis is on commendation. It's look like good of some extent, but it may not even also. You can try another font too if you like. While a display font might look visually appealing and align well with the aesthetic of the content, it might not be logical. You want to ensure that the font doesn't overshadow the importance of statement you are trying to make. Although a display font may seem fitting from your visual standpoint, it may not be the best choice when considering the logical alignment between font style and intended message. The goal is to strike a balance between visual appeal and the logical coherence. So to effectively address this, you should choose a font that not only looks good but also complement the message. However, then it will create a different statement that doesn't align well with this type of contrast that you are aiming. So here in this lecture where I explain in great detail about typography, and now you have clear understanding of which fonts to use or which fonts not to. At this time, you know what type of graphic, poster, thumbnail or ending content you are creating. I don't know about it, but using typography is the right choice, and using typography in the right way is actually process of making a professional graphic designer. In this lecture we understood about typography, and within all it we will create a craft and story on the top of it in the next lecture. So see you in the next lecture, guys. Hello guys, in this lecture we will learn what an photopoeia brush is and how it plays an important role for our design of this type. Those who want to bring a touch to their design, photopoeia brushes plays a crucial role in achieving that desired look. We will learn how photopoeia brush are used in various easy and professional way. So first let's understand what photopoeia brush actually is. Alright, let us understand what brush is in general and what roles it play in our design. To start with brushes, you just need to select this new layer button here that says new layer, then click on it and it will create this new layer above all of the layers. Here we will let's just rename this as brush stroke. So now our main brush comes into the play, and the brush name is stroke brush. You can find this brush stroke by searching it on the Google. So this is brush here, right? Brush stroke, Photoshop or Photopoeia, both are same. And then click on the first website, which is this website, and just download it. It will automatically download to your PC, and these are the various brush stroke. It offered 15 brushes, and then open that zip file, and then just here come to Photopoeia and then click on files and then open and place. Come to this, and this will be the ABR file. Then open on this ABR file, and then here in the brush section which is below the healing brush tool and the above the clone tool. So click on this brush section, and here go to this brush settings. And you will see these are the default brushes is offered, and these are the free brush stroke Photoshop brush as we have downloaded it, and it offers 15 different brushes. So let's say startingly we will select this first one and then click on this first one, and then here you can see it is available. Then click on this thing, and then perfect. Then here we have our brush stroke. So you can resize this or modify it as per your need. You can use this as the whole background like this. Wait a minute, like this, or you can also even use this brush from your text word also. So you can create it by like this, resizes to the text type. Perfect. This type of brush stroke gives us that high contrast look, like these are the black dots and the black contrast look, and these are the white stroke or white brush stroke that gives us that aesthetic and contrasting black and white look here. You can also add another brush stroke, whatever the brush stroke you like. Go to this and let's say I will select this time this one, and then click it on here. First select the layer, then we will select this layer. First we will create the layer and then we will paste it here. So it will paste the brush stroke here. You can also use it from the image perspective, like from the background, like you want to make a state boldment, and you can also do it in the text form also. So let's just delete this and use this only one brush stroke. So here you can also fill the color of this brush stroke. So it is very easy. So click on this layer style and then click on this color overlay. Okay, so here is our color overlay. So you can see this color, the brush stroke will be of this color. So changes as per your need. Let's say I will red. Okay, so our brush stroke will be of red color, and you can change the text color to white and make it even more appealing and more announcing. You can also change it to blue, green, or whatever you like. Let's say yellow. But now from this we are going to stick with the white color brush stroke here, and we will modify it just something. So you can do this thing as well, but I would recommend that you use brushes like this more in the background, as they can create an unique type of story. However, it is completely up to you how you use them. If I am using brush in background, it's give me a very awesome and that desired feel from this type of design of this politician or controversy judgment. So you have learned about brushes, and you can mostly find brush on internet. Like you can search from brush stroke, Photoshop, Photopea or anything. And downloading is quite easy. Search from it on Google and you will find everything. So in this episode we have learned about brushes, and don't worry, I will add this zip file of free brush in the resource section, so you can use this from it also. Feel free to message me if you have any doubt about anything. I will be happy to help. And in the next lecture we will learn about color palette, the color palette that should everyone know, particularly from the retro style design we have picked from. Alright, so let us move to the next lecture. So in the last lecture we learned about brushes, and this time in this lecture we will learn about color palettes, which plays an huge and important role here for you. Alright, so when you design at this time, you should have a color palette in front of you that will fit your design's feel and that will already be utilized in your mind. For that, the color palettes plays a significant role. Creating a color palette is very easy, and you don't have to follow someone else's color palette. You can make your own color palette. Like just search from 80s image, 80s albums cover image, and assume that you like any of this color palette. Let's just say I like this color palette, so click it here and then save this image wherever you want to, and then just type color palette generation, and this will the colors.com. go to this page. Alright, so I will take you to this website called coolers.com. then click on start generation button, and here you can extract a color palette from this image yourself. So I am here on this website, and this website will show you something like this. Just need to browse this image, click here and drop it here in the image area. Okay, you will be provided with color palette here. You can choose the color of whatever you find appealing. You can choose and create your own color palette from here. Okay, then using the same method, like clicking on this it will create this color pattern, then clicking on this it will create this color pattern, and then clicking on this it will create, let's say, pink color. From this it will create this yellowish color, and from this it will create this orange color, let's see. And then you can just save this color palette from yourself. For example, if you want to make it full screen, then place quick open, and here you can see the color palette. I have already created and saved color palette from my design, but you can also do your custom color palette. And now let's move to our final design, where we will create our final design using all the things we have learned: typography, image, brush, and everything. We will incorporate them in our design to create a final design or final poster or final thumbnail right here. So let's move toward our final lecture, shall we? Alright. Hello guys, this is our master class, and you should be really excited now that you have learned all of these things like roughness, brushes, and halftone overlay. Now in this lecture we will design the whole entire poster theme that we are designing, that gives us that high contrast and high saturation level and aesthetic feel. So be excited about this lecture, and here we go start. So this is our canvas, that's where we left out in the last lecture. So now basically we want the face we want to show only the face and not the suit and the all parts. So basically what we do is bring this text and bring this brush layer down this below, and then move up a little bit of the photo, and then let us make the brush size big enough to cover all this suit part. So like this we have done our brush work here, and we have covered all these layer. And then now time from the text layer. So here we will change the color also. We will change the color to, let's say, red or something. So now we have changed the color to red, and let's just say we will do this question mark here. That will give that aesthetic look, and then questionable and what the user attraction want, this question mark and the word will give that. And now let's just resize this image also here. So we have made this trumped image a little bigger, and you can also check it by using this merger tool, that it is in between also. And this is the tool of auto select. So sometimes if the canvas select randomly anything, you can turn it off here and then click on the specific thing you want, like this is power, and make sure the power word is exactly in the center. We can also use this ruler, and you can see that our powered word is in the center of our frame. And you can now turn back it on auto select. Perfect. And then now we will add in two image here. The first image will be of Joe Biden, and it is facing toward left, so this image will be using here. And the second image will be of this personality. You can also use this image. This image gives that us look of suspicious, curiosity, and that high contrast look also. Or you can use this also image. So I am using this image. So basically this is image facing the right hand side, so we can use this image here. So now remove the background of the images. So you can remove it online easily. I cannot show you here because of the Udemy terms and condition, but remove it, and after then place it the images here. So now after removing the background of the image, I have just used this file and then open and place option, and then import this image here. So this image is above our blush and power text layer, so bring it down here, both of this image, and now it is perfectly fine. And then both the color of red and the red tie and the red suit here is matching our theme. So now we have to do this black and white effect here also, just like we have done in our primary image, and we have to also do this dot dot image, or you can say this is the half tone overlay effect. So we will do it from both of this image, but we have to create the new separate PSD. So it is very easy. You just download this option, download this as an PSD file, and once it is downloaded, when it is downloaded, then just go to open and then choose this PSD here. So this is our PSD here. So just delete all the layer except the layer of this image first of all. So we will delete this power layer, brush stroke. We will use this, delete this also, this also, and this also, and this also. So basically this is just our image layer. Now what we have to do is import that half tone overlay effect. So just click on file, open and place. As we have downloaded this will be of number 8, as we have used this number 8 also in the primary image, and then put it on the image face, bring it up, and as you can remember, we have selected this soft light effect here, and then just use this clipping mask effect, and here you go, you can see this dot. But now we have to do this image as black and white to show that high contrast level. So go to this effect, let's just hue and saturation here, and let's saturate it to -81. The image is looking perfect now, and you can see the dots as well as this green. So just now easy thing is to download this as an PNG, and then let's just say as Hillary 1, and then save is, and then we will do the same from that another image. So open and place, open, let's say open, and now we will select. So just again remove all the layers, and this time we will edit this image, delete everything, and now import our halftone, and then place it in front of the face. You can even resize it whatever you like, and then make sure it is soft light here, and then here we will add an photo and hue and saturation. Let's make it to -81. Select any number of whatever you like, but I think this number is perfectly fine, and then use this as clipping mask effect. Click on clipping mask, and you can see we have get our image, and then grains and then aesthetic look we have discovered. So just basically save this as PNG again, and let's just say 1, and then save it, and then go to our main project. Here we will just open and place both the image of Hillary 1 and Biden 1. So first Biden, and then place it above this image, and you can see we have our black and white as well as that halftone overlay effect image here, and then do it similarly from this image. And you can now just delete this image if you want, you can have, but make sure to delete that. Okay, perfect, and then open and place again, and this time this one, and make sure it is above the layer of this, so you can see. So in this image also we have got that aesthetic and retro look here, and then delete this lower image, we don't need now. But we want to differentiate all the three parties here. So what we will do is the main image we will keep as it is of that high contrast black look, but here these both images, as we have, even you can see that this size of image is lower, and we are focusing more on the primary key or primary subject to our image, and we have also resizes to the smaller layer, smaller size, as compared to the main focus. So now the next step will be we will change the color or the photo filter layer, so to make it more even aesthetic and to differentiate all the things. So now go back again to this image, and then here this is our image, but now we will add an photo layer here. And then in the last lecture, as we have created that photo palette, I am just importing that photo palette here. Okay, and now we will use this photo palette as a reference of our coloring, and then click here and then add a photo filter layer here. Make sure it is below this design of our image, and then now change the color as to our color palette. Use this eyedropper. So now after selecting with that eyedropper button here, you can see that we have selected this color into our photo. That gives us that old vintage style. You can also see this is the color and this is the code, and here it is the code. You can even type it the code manually here, and you can get that code like this FFB429, and here you can just write FFB9 and you will get this color, and then click OK. And then here we have selected the density to 75 to 80. I always recommend to do this because it gives us that proper look of whatever we are desiring. And then now just blur this color palette here, and then download this image, export and save as PNG. Now this time let us name it as 11.2. Okay, cool. And now similarly we will do it from that other image also, but now let's just say here we paste. So basically delete this image as we don't need it here, and then open and place, and this is our image. And you can see we have get that optimal looking what we are looking for. And you can also see the difference. This black and white is not as appealing as this yellowish color which we have chosen from our color palette. And you can also bring color palette here, open and place, color palette, okay, open, and then bring it to front. So this is our color palette, and we have used this color. Now from this image we can use this color or this color or this color, whatever fits suit. So now we will customize this image also. So click on here, and now again the same process. The first process will be adding the photo layer, and the second process will be adding the color palette. So basically add color palette here again, and make sure to bring the color palette to the forward to its original color. And here we will use this color, let's say, and add an photo filter here. Make sure the photo filter is behind this hue and center, and then click on the color, and then just use this eyedropper. Now as we have used this color here, you can also see this is the color, or you can also see the code and typing the code manually, 3EA2AA. So this is the color, and this is the image we have gotten. And here we have used the density 100 because of the blue color. Click on OK. But this image is still lacking of something, that deep dark voice inside of the image. So let's just change and look around. Let's just use dissolve. Let's see how the image changes. Let's use darken. This has changed the color. And let's use this multiply. Multiply always give us the best and that dark high contrast aesthetic look. So now we will use this multiply option only, and then blur this color palette here, and then download this image. Just make sure to close all the file, then download this image, export as PNG. This time we will name it as Biden 2.
Down
Amazing guys, you did it. You should be super proud of yourself because not many people make it till here. You should give a tap on your back as well as I will give a clap for you. I hope you found this course valuable and insightful as well as you enjoyed the journey of creating high contrast thumbnails as well as posters. Along with that, I hope you learn how to create that mood of colors, the story behind the thumbnail or design, or even how to set typography which resonates with our designs. Alright, that's all for this entire course, and once again congratulations on completing this journey, as well as if you have any question, literally any question, just feel free to ask me. Again, thank you for joining me on this journey and I hope to see you in some of my other courses. Bye bye.